Everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein and I will be your presenter here for the next 20 minutes. Today we are going to be discussing the process of exporting your next year's giver numbers for sending off to an envelope company. So a lot of the customers that we talk to will have special offering envelopes printed with giver number, name, address, so forth on them themselves. So what I'm going to do is walk you through that process. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple, but I am recording this. So if this is something you want to rewatch or share it with someone else that you feel might find this information beneficial, you'll be able to find this webinar out on our website at churchwindows.com in our support center. And it'll also be available in our New Year Prep and Help section on our website. So at churchwindows.com, right in the middle of the screen, there is a section for New Year Prep Help. If you click on that, it's going to take you to a page of all of our organized information for all the different modules that we have in Church Windows and different things over the years that we've put together that we feel is beneficial for churches and nonprofits at this time of the year. So the information that I am covering is also in a handout. I attached that handout to the webinar. So if you go on your GoToWebinar toolbar and expand the handout section, right there it says donations, export giver numbers for envelope company. That's your PDF document. Feel free to pull that up while we're going through the webinar. You can print it after. Also, this will be on that New Year Prep Help page on our website as well. If you want to print it out later or have someone else find it, they can print it out there as well. Again, feel free to ask questions during the webinar. I'm the only tech in here today, so I will view those questions once I am done teaching. I won't read the questions during the presentation, but I will look at them after. So if something pops in your head, feel free to type it in, but just be patient with me, please, until I'm done teaching, and then I will go ahead and read those questions aloud and get you answers that way. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started here. So on your screen, you should be seeing Church Windows. I'm going to go ahead and click on donations here. And in the handout, you have two options. There's an option 1 and an option 2. So there's two different reports you are able to use to export these giver numbers to send off to the envelope company. So the first one we're going to go over is option 1. And this would be if you just want to export every single person who has a giver number. Okay. Now, we want to do this once you are done cleaning up your numbers or once you have assigned your new numbers for 2021. So if you are wanting to send out your new numbers for the new year, I'm going to walk you through how to adjust the date and get the numbers for the new year. But keep in mind, you can do this export at any time using numbers that fall into whatever date range you want. So it doesn't always have to be for next year's numbers. You can do it for current period numbers as well if you need to. Okay. So in donations, we're going to go up to reports and export. I'm going to go to lists and labels. And then right here, I'm going to click on list giver numbers. All right, so first thing we are going to adjust right up here at the top left. It says use numbers current as of. This is that date picker that we can adjust. So again, if you're wanting to export the numbers for 2021, then we're going to have to adjust this date field to encompass that. So we're going to have use numbers current as of 01/01/2021. That's how you're going to get those future numbers to be exported on the report. All right, then right below that, we're going to choose assigned numbers. And then we're also going to check include address. Typically, when people are exporting their numbers to an envelope number company, you are going to need to have the address. You don't have to, but this is where that option is included to get the address on there, okay? Now let's talk about date ranges. Over here on the far right, you have the option to adjust the giver numbers that are pooled. So if you only, for example, want to have giver numbers in the range of 100 to 500, this is where you would adjust that range to only pull those numbers. If you don't change anything here, then by default, it is just going to pull everybody that has a giver number on this date, which we used 1/1/2021. Okay. So that is all you are going to have to do here. Then we're going to come down to the bottom left and we are going to hit export to text file, okay? Right here. We're going to leave the delimiter at comma. This is going to give us a comma separated value format. And then right below that, it lists the file location. So this is going to be where on your PC do you want Church Windows to save this exported file. So as you can see right now, it's going to my documents. You can leave the default location that pops up if you wish, but if you want to change it over here on the right, you're going to hit this little dot, dot, dot. This is your browser options button. I'm going to go ahead and hit that, and then you can pick someplace else to save it. So let's say I want to put it on my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and choose desktop, and then down here at the bottom right, I'm going to hit save. Now that my new location has been updated, I'm going to say OK, and then it's going to tell me the file has been created in. It's going to give me that location again. Would you like to open that folder? I'm going to say yes. So here it's taken me to my desktop, and as you can see right here, first thing up at the top, giver number list. That is going to be the name of the export. So I can just double click that if I want to view it, and it's going to open it right up in Excel to show me the information that's being exported. Okay, so this file right here, this giver number list, this is what you are going to send off to your envelope company. Whether you upload it to their website, whether you have to put it on a flash drive and mail it in, depending on how that company wants that file, but this is the one you're going to send to them in whatever avenue they need. Okay. All right, so that's option 1 on the first page. Now let's say you have some extra criteria that you want to include. Say you only want to pull people of a particular status code along with those numbers. So you can also do that here in the list giver numbers report. You do have a givers tab. So you can come in here and you can specify some additional criteria. Okay, so let's say you only want people of a particular status code as well. If that's the case, you do have your selected membership field drop box here where you can input that. Okay, this is a new feature. Okay, I want you to keep in mind this giver tab was added to the list giver numbers in either version 20 or 21. I can't remember. So if you're on an older version and you need to add this status code information, you're going to have to use a different report. Okay, so on page 2 of the handout, option 2, this is that other report you can use. So let me close this. We're going to go back up to reports and export. We're going to go compare and analyze, and then the pledge giving analysis. So this is the second report or the other report you can use to export those giver numbers for your envelope company. So here on page 2, I'm going to change my giving include to all, and I'm going to leave my pledging include on all. Over here on the right, this is where we have to change the date range. So if we're wanting to export our 2021 envelope numbers or giver numbers, we have to come to this date range box. I'm just going to hit this plus year button, and that's going to take me to 2021. So the program knows I want the 2021 giver numbers pulled. Okay. Then you can come up here to this givers tab. Same tab we saw on the other report. And here is where you would put in that status code criteria. So we only want people who have a number and have a status code of active. Okay, so again, this is where you would put in that additional criteria if you need it for exporting this. I'm going to check active member. I'm going to hit add to selection, and now you can see my criteria is popped down below. And over here on the right, I have to remove this checkbox. It says include those without number. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that. So it's only pulling people who have a number and who have a status code of active member. And you can put in a giver number range here just like you could on the other report. So if you only, again, want numbers 100 through 500, you could put that range in here, okay? Then we are going to jump to the columns tab. And over here on the right, under visible columns, these are the fields that are going to be exported. All we need for our export to the envelope company is going to be giver name, giver number, address, okay? Those three things. Then you can also come up here to the sort tab and you can set the sort order. So the order you want this export done in, we're going to leave it at giver number, all right? Down here at the bottom right, I'm going to hit export data. Again, it's going to give me that export to file box. I'm going to leave my delimiter to comma. Down here, you have your file location. So you can specify where you want this file to be saved to. If you want to change the location, you can hit the little dot, dot, dot. Pick someplace else. We'll just choose desktop again for easy finding. And I'm going to say save. My file location looks correct. Go ahead and hit OK. And then the export is going to be created. It's going to tell me where it saved it, desktop. It's called pledgegiving.csv. Would you like to open the folder? I can say yes. Here's the report we did earlier. Here's the pledge giving report. If I go ahead and double click that, it's going to put that into Excel as well to view. You can easily look it over and make sure the information is what you want. And then this right here would be the file that you would then send off to the envelope company. Whether you update it to their website, you put it on a flash drive and mail it to them. They have a Dropbox. This is the file that you're going to send off. Okay? All right, folks, that is it. Like I said, pretty simple topic today. You have an option 1 to go through that list giver number report, or you can do option 2 and build the export through pledge giving analysis. It's up to you which one you choose. I personally, if you're on the newer version, I would just do the list giver number report. It's a little bit easier, in my opinion. But you do have 2 places you can go to do that.